please consider hitting subscribe button to support my channel and follow me on Instagram.
Hey, what's up, guys? Hope you're doing well. Now, this topic was going around my mind so that I could make a video on top of it because I thought there is a similarity between programming languages in computer science and the spoken languages that we use. Now, I'm gonna talk about particularly the languages of India because I'm native to India and see whether there is a real similarity with respect to both of them. So, check it out. Now, I'm a software engineer and I make use of Java and JavaScript, two programming languages, extensively in my workday as well as for my personal use. Now, for those people who don't know what programming languages are something in which we make use of to write softwares or applications. There are a lot of programming languages which are specific to its own use. Let's say if you want to create a website, so there is a best fit programming language that is widely used and considered as standard, so that we pick that and write in that programming language to prepare a website or a web application. Similarly, to write a mobile application, be it for Android or iOS, so there are preferred programming languages so that it gives best performance and it is neat and tidy. Amongst all of the programming languages, each of the programming language have their own benefits and which can solve a particular problem very easily. So if you want to build a mobile application, if you use a X programming language, it might solve your problem very easily. If you use a Y programming language, it might take a lot of time or it might not turn out to be good. So so the purpose of having a lot of programming languages is to solve a particular problem related to softwares or websites or apps in general. I went to this particular software developer conference where it's for software developers and it talks about all the things that are going in the world of technology, and it also talks about the programming languages and their usage, how to solve problem and what are the new advancements in a particular programming language. In that conference, there was a question raised which asked, why are there new programming languages that are coming up every now and then? The rate at which new programming languages are being introduced in the current world is increasing. So why can't we modify and add new features to a particular existing programming language? So for that, a panelist answered simply. He said it's very easy to create a whole new thing than to add or modify an existing complex setup. I felt that is very true, and I think that is the core thing that might have been the core idea of developing of different spoken languages. For example, English is a global language, right, which has an alphabet count of 26 from A to Z. Now, it has been so well built up. The language framework itself is very matured. It has different kinds of poetry section in itself. The essay structure is neatly segregated. There are different styles of essay that we can find in English, and there is neatly segregated subject, verb, and agreement things. But yet, English is not perfect every times. For example, take a French word called bonjour, which is spelled as bonjour, but when you literally write the word, it spells something like bonjour. And another word, which is an Italian word called grazia, it's also a greeting. So when we literally write it down, it spells like grazi. So there is a lot of difference between when spelling a word and writing down a similar word in English. There are a lot of difference between them. So when we map these scenarios, what we saw with respect to English to Indian context, with respect to Indian languages, let's consider some of the old languages that we have till now, Tamil, Sanskrit, and also Bengali. So from which most of the languages are derived in South as well as in North. So let's say Bengali. In Bengali, Vidya is spelled as Bidya, so there is no V in Bengali. So probably there are a lot of such limitations because of which an entire language might have sprung out, taking into the example of what a panelist said. Now, it might be very easy to say that it's just a difference of V, Vidya to Bidya. Just improve on yourself to recognize B as V. So, because note that these are some of the old languages, they are very well established and is in use from a very long period of time, and also they have scriptures and records written in that format, in that style, since very long time. And this is where the complexity will be introduced if you try to add in any other new features or a new set of rules to a particular language. Hence, it is more easier to develop an entirely new language rather than touching or modifying an existing language. So there is a similarity between programming language. Here we can find that similarity, right? If you carefully observe, some of the Indian languages which might have stemmed out of these old or ancient Indian languages are carefully designed to overcome their predecessors' limitations, and are also carefully designed to leave a positive impact on your vocals. So it tends to have an exercise on your vocals. It also introduces a wide variety of syllables and spelling capabilities, and languages like Kannada even associate mathematics with poetry. So there are styles of poetry like Ragale, Shatpadi, and Tripadi. These are form of poetry. You can search for it over Google, which associates mathematic calculations with how a poetry is represented in 3 lines or 6 lines, an example. So no doubt, with all of these varieties of languages what we have, Indians are more adaptive to foreign languages or any languages in such. They are very quick to learn most of the languages that we have. So we also have a reputation of speaking English as good English. So when we ultimately compare a programming language with any one of the regional language, so I feel it's not that different. Each of them have their own science and reasons behind their development. Both of them have neatly set rules, frameworks developed. When you consider any regional language, it has its own style of poetry, essay writing, and conveyance, syllables, and how each of the character it captures so that it is spelt, etc. So I think there is a lot of significance in how our regional language has shaped up, and how important it was back then, and it was considered itself as an art to come up with all the new inventions. So I think people who are interested in it can explore more on it and be aware of it, so that we can improve more on our regional language awareness. So if we consider Israel, so they built the lost scriptures of Israel from ground up. So we can appreciate our regional languages with all the science behind it with respect to a modern programming language. So let me know what uniqueness your regional language brings in the comment section. I would be very eager to know it. So that's it for this video. I would be coming up with some more exciting things in my next video. If you have liked this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.